Take a look at the device you're watching this on right now. Your computer, your phone, whatever it is. The very DNA of that machine, its soul, wasn't born in a quiet laboratory. It was forged on a battlefield. The Great Desktop War.
And that's really the heart of it right there. In one corner, you had the titan of industry, the IBM PC, and in the other, you had the rebellious artist, the Apple Macintosh. They weren't just selling you boxes with screens, they were selling you two completely different visions for how we would live with technology.
So, that's the big question we're going to dig into. See, this isn't just some dusty history lesson. The decisions made way back then literally created the two fundamental paths that all of our modern tech has followed. And by the end of this, I promise you are going to see your own devices in a totally new light.
All right, first up, IBM. Back in 1981, these guys were the undisputed kings of computing. I mean, they were computing. And when they decided to get into the personal computer game, they did it with an approach that would, and I'm not exaggerating, change everything. They called it the open blueprint.
Here's the thing. IBM's genius wasn't really in building some revolutionary piece of hardware. Nope, it was their strategy. This idea of an open architecture. They built their machine using parts anyone could buy off the shelf. And for the brain of the operation, the operating system, they licensed it from a tiny little upstart company called Microsoft.
And that single decision kicked off this incredible chain reaction. By using common parts in an OS they didn't exclusively control, IBM accidentally created a blueprint, a standard. It's like they thought they were just baking one single cake, but what they really did was publish the recipe for the entire world to use.
The result was, well, it was explosive. A whole industry of IBM Compatible clones just erupted. You had companies like Compaq and Dell and HP all building machines that could run the exact same software, but often they were cheaper or faster. IBM had won the battle for the office, absolutely. But in this wild twist of fate, they had given away the keys to the entire kingdom. The real long-term winners weren't IBM. It was Microsoft and Intel, who now owned the standard.
Okay, so that brings us to the challenger, Apple. In 1984, they didn't just enter the market. They threw a grenade right into the middle of it. It was called the Macintosh, and it was designed as this beautiful, self-contained walled garden for, as they put it, the rest of us.
I mean, just look at this difference. It is night and day. On the left, you have the IBM PC's intimidating command line, that blinking C prompt. You had to learn to speak its language. And on the right, the Mac, a friendly little desktop, folders you could actually see, and a mouse to just point and click. This wasn't just an improvement. This was a full-blown revolution.
The Mac was the polar opposite of IBM's philosophy. It was a closed, totally integrated system. Apple designed the hardware, Apple designed the software, they designed the mouse, they designed everything to work together perfectly, right out of one sealed box. Steve Jobs called it the whole widget approach. Sure, it was a walled garden, but inside that garden, everything was beautiful, and it all just worked.
And this was the key to their whole fight. See, Apple wasn't trying to win the war for corporate spreadsheets. They were fighting a different battle entirely. They were fighting for the hearts and minds of creators, of designers, of educators. The Mac was sold as this incredible tool that would empower you, not just some beige box that crunched numbers.
So the battle lines were drawn, and you ended up with these two massive empires, built on two completely opposing philosophies. But here's the most profound part of this whole story. We are all still living inside the borders that these two empires created.
You can really break it down like this. The IBM legacy gave us this huge open ecosystem. It was all about business and productivity. And that led to standardization and affordable machines for everybody. The Apple legacy, on the other hand, gave us the integrated system. It was focused on creativity, and it championed user experience and design above all else.
For decades, you were either a PC person or a Mac person. You were the suit, or you were the artist. But that conflict didn't die out. No way. The battlefield just shifted from our desks to our pockets.
And you can draw a straight line from then to now. IBM's open philosophy, that is the DNA inside the massive Windows PC market. And maybe even more importantly, it's the spirit of Android, an open system used by hundreds of different manufacturers. And on the other side, Apple's integrated philosophy lives on in the Mac, but its ultimate masterpiece is the iPhone. It's the perfected walled garden. So what this means is that your choice of a phone or computer today, it's not just about features or price. It's a vote. You are literally choosing a side. Do you favor the open, customizable, sometimes chaotic world of the PC and Android, or do you prefer the closed, curated, seamless world of the Mac and the iPhone?
This battle between IBM and Apple really did shape everything. It taught us that a brilliant strategy can be way more powerful than just technology alone. It showed us that an open platform can create a global standard, but it also proved that a perfectly crafted, beautiful experience can inspire a loyalty so fierce it's almost a religion.
In the end, neither side really won. Instead, they just divided our digital world right down the middle, according to their two philosophies. So the next time you pick up your phone or sit down at your computer, remember the war that created it, and just ask yourself this one simple question. What do you value? Choice or perfection? Openness or integration? Because you're living in the world they built.